fine and well today here on a Friday afternoon. You guys are going to do a small class test today. I don't think I've told you before. I can't remember now, but don't worry too much. It's going to be quite easy, so don't stress about that. Okay, but let's start by greeting each other in the chat box like always. Right, so as I said, people, we're going to do the class test today, and then also we're going to mark the test also. All right, so you're going to mark your own work. So let's move to the small test. So I hope you've got pen and paper ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to scan through the questions with you guys, and then I will give you some time to do it. Okay. Right, so the first question is that you need to draw the triangle with the three different levels of management. Okay, so that's only question one. You draw the triangle and you indicate the three different levels. Then the next question says, give one example with each of the levels of management. So on the triangle with question one, you can also with that write the example. So basically you can say the first two questions you're going to do together. Then the next one, mention the three economic sectors and a short description of each one. Then what is the difference between savings and investment? Mention three examples of sole traders. Give a definition of a partnership. Give two advantages of sole traders. And give two disadvantages of partnerships. Right, so that is your questions that you need to look at. Sorry, I just want to double check there's not on the next slide. No, that's your answers. Right, so that is the only questions you're going to do. So there are basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, although the first two will work together. Okay, so on a piece of paper, I'm going to give you, let's say about let's make it 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and then you answer these questions, and then we're going to mark it, and then you're going to see how did you do in the test. Okay, so if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask in the box. Otherwise, I'm going to give you some time to do it now. All right. Right, I see there was a question, but somebody was a little bit quick on me. So, yeah, sorry, you're late, but what do you need to do? You just need to answer those questions on that slide, and then we're going to mark it in a few minutes' time. Okay, so it's basically just like a normal small class test that you normally write on a Friday with me. It's not going to count. You do it on your own and you mark it, and then you can see for yourself what your mark is going to be. We'll still give you about 3-4 minutes. Sorry guys, if you're done, maybe just indicate in the box to me. That will help a lot, hey? Right, people, we need to start to mark. Okay, so let's see. Hope you are all done by now. Otherwise, just work with me through the questions and the answers. Right, I will indicate to you every time how the marks is going to look like. Okay, I think somebody's trying. I don't know what that is. Do you try to tell me you're not finished? It's just saying no. So I think you're not finished. Okay, let me maybe give you another minute. All right, another minute, and then we start marking. All right, okay, now I'm going to start marking. So now you just have to stick with me. Right, so the first question was where you need to draw the triangle indicating the three different levels of management. And then also with that, the next question where you need to give an example of each of these levels. Okay, so there you guys will see. There I have indicated the triangle with the three different levels, top level, middle level, and lower level, and it must be in that order. Now, just for drawing the triangle, indicating the three levels, and by writing the top level, middle level, lower level. If you have everything correct, you can give you 5 marks there. So it's a mark for top level, it's a mark for middle level, it's a mark for lower level, and then just by drawing the triangle, you can give 2 more marks there. So in total, 5 marks. And then regarding question 2, to give an example of each one. Now I've put there some examples for you. So with the top level management, you can set the board of directors, chief executive, general manager, you can say managing director there. With the middle level, you can pick and choose an example there, like the production manager, purchasing manager, sales manager, marketing manager, public relation manager. I'm thinking of human resources manager. And then with the lower level, you can say foreman, supervisors, section officers, superintendent. Even if you just write the workers, then you can accept that. So there's another 3 marks because you need to mention one example with each one. Okay, so it's another 3 marks for the examples. So just between question 1 and question 2, it is 8 marks in total. Question mark, where you draw the triangle indicating the 3 different levels, was 5 marks. And then with question 2, to give an example with each of them, it's another 3 marks. Okay, and then the next question was mention the 3 economic sectors and a short description of each one. Okay, so if you have, I've put that in front of you, but you need actually to listen what I'm saying now. So if you have mentioned primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector, there's 3 more marks. So just by mentioning the 3 sectors, primary, secondary, and tertiary, you can give yourself another 3 marks. Okay, what is not really standing there now is a description of each one. So that is where you need to listen now. For the primary sector, if you have said something like it's a raw materials extracted like air, food, water, or you mentioned something about natural resources, then you can give yourself another mark for the description. Okay, that is for the primary sector. So if you talk about raw materials, natural resources, and you've given examples. If it's the secondary sector, then you should have said something where the product or the item is going to be produced to a final product in the fabric. Then you can give yourself a mark there for that description. So where you're going to produce something to a final product in a fabric, or if you have made use of an example, let's say you take the wool of a sheep that is forming part of the primary sector, and you're going to produce a jersey now in the fabric, that is your secondary sector, then you can also give you a mark there. Okay. Yes, it is fine. If we say producing finished products, 100%, you can give yourself a mark there. And then the tertiary sector, then you need to say something about it is the distribution of the goods to the wholesalers, the retailers, the shops, etc. Then you can give for that description yourself a mark. So it's about the distribution of goods to wholesalers, shops, retailers, etc. So, right. So just regarding that question, remember, just by mentioning the three sectors, it was 3 marks. And when you give a description with each one, it's another 3 marks. Right. What is the difference between savings and investment? It's going to be 1 mark for savings and 1 mark for investment. Okay. Saving, you need to say something about setting money aside for future use so you don't touch it. Then it's 1 mark. And investment or investing, you need to say this is when you invest money by buying assets or assets like vehicles, or when you're going to buy a house, for instance, then you can give yourself another mark. So what is the difference between savings and investment? 1 mark for savings, 1 mark for investment. Savings is when you put money aside for future use. Investment is when you invest for example, in an asset like a vehicle. Mention 3 examples of sole traders. Okay, you can ask if you're not sure, but remember, what is a sole trader? What I said, that one-man band show, that is like plumbers, hairdressers, bakeries. If you're not sure of your answer, you're more than welcome to ask, but that is only going to be, oh, you need to mention 3 examples, so it will be 3 marks. So if you're not sure, just ask in the box, but you need to mention 3 examples of sole traders. So for each example, it's counting a mark. The next question is, give a definition of a partnership. Okay, a partnership is an arrangement where parties, known as business partners, agree to cooperate to advance their mutual interests. The partners in a partnership may be individuals, businesses, interest-based organizations, schools, governments, or combinations. Okay, this one will count 2 marks. So if you have mentioned about it is an arrangement, or it must be a written arrangement where parties or partners is involved, then there's 1 mark. And if you have mentioned something about they have mutual interests, then it's another mark. Okay, so the question is, give a definition of a partnership for 2 marks. The first mark is if you say something about the arrangement between parties known as partners, and the other mark will be for mutual interests. Okay, I'm just looking at the question in the box. I think that was regarding the previous question about the examples of the sole traders. So, okay, this time I'm going to tell you, no, you need to mark it wrong because I asked for examples. Okay, so what you said is not quite wrong, but I'm looking for examples. Okay, so remember that. Then the next question is, give 2 advantages of sole traders. 2 advantages of sole traders. Okay. Again, sorry guys, if you're not sure, ask. But I said the 2 ones that I've chosen, it is easy to start a sole trader. And because it's easy to start, and it's only one person that's involved, quick decisions can be made. So remember, it's 2 advantages, so 2 marks there. 2 advantages of sole traders for 2 marks. And what I said, it's easy to start and quick decision making can be done. But as I said, if you're not sure, rather ask. All right, in the meantime, the last question, give two disadvantages of partnerships. Two disadvantages of partnerships. So it's for 2 marks. I have decided the two that I've taken is that the profits must be divided between the partners, and then they have less independence because there is not only one person involved now, there are many people or many partners is involved, so they have less independence. Sorry, people. So two disadvantages of partnerships for 2 marks. The two that I've chosen is divided profits and less independence. But again, if you're not sure, please ask. So if you have done marking, I'm going to stick a little bit on this page if you're still busy. But if you've done marking, then you can add up the total of the test is out of 25, and then you can see how you have done. So I'm just going to stick a while on this page, people. Okay, so everyone can finish up marking. Okay, remember some people are a little bit faster than other people. Make sure that you have the correct answers as well. So I'm just going to stick a while on this page. Okay, if you have questions, please put it in the box. Okay, there's a question at Sole Traders. I'm wrong if I said dry cleaners as examples. No, you're absolutely correct. You can give yourself a mark there. And then there was another question. How many marks was it for the definition for investing and saving? It was 1 mark for savings and 1 mark for investing. So the question is basically 2 marks, but 1 mark for savings, 1 mark for investing. I will come back now to the slide. I will just quickly want to say after this, we are done for today, but I'm just going back so you guys can still look there. There's another question. How much marks is the section worth, ma'am? It's out of 25. So all the questions out of 25. So when you're done marking, add up, get your total out of 25 so you can see how you have done. right, any more questions, people? Right, it doesn't look like that, people. Thank you very much. We are then finished for today. Then we will talk on Monday again. So I hope you're all going to have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, and then we will talk on Monday again. All right, goodbye, everyone.